We did ground search. We went on hikes. We walked the river. I knew that I probably wouldn't see her again. Whether she's alive or not, we need that closure.
Those were comments from the sister of missing person Ericka Hogg, whose family is deeply concerned, and with very good reason. Ericka has been missing since May of 2018. There's not a whole lot around the area where she went missing. A lot of questions, not many answers, but let's see if we can raise some exposure, get this video in front of the right person, and urge them to use the contact information in the details below. It's time to turn on the searchlight. Hey everybody, John Lorden here. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Brainscratch Searchlight. I want to give a very big thank you to Gwen for letting me know about this case and keeping me updated on it. Today we are looking into the disappearance of Ericka Hogg. Now you can see from this photo, I believe she lived a little bit of a bohemian lifestyle. I've seen some other social media that suggests she might have even been homeless at times. She is a mother of two. Not a lot of information in terms of where her children are, although they are not missing with her. I believe that her children are likely being cared for either by their father or fathers or other members of the family. Ericka is the only person that's missing, and we've got several reasons for being very concerned with this case. Let's go ahead and start with a post over at For the Missing. And that's a Facebook page dedicated to missing people in the Pacific Northwest. They did a really good job putting this poster together. We've got several different photos of her here, so you can see that her style can change pretty drastically, particularly if you look at that photo in the lower right-hand corner. That looks like a family photo, might have been taken some number of years ago. I don't know, maybe 7-10 years, something like that. And then you can see in the newer photos, multicolor hair, although sometimes in some of these photos, it looks like her hair is pretty much purple. But when she went missing, it was described as rainbow colored. Very important note on this poster. Ericka suffers from schizophrenia. So we have an untreated mental disorder that has come into play with this as well. Obviously big cause for concern, plus wrapped up with her lifestyle. I don't know if she had a home at the time that she went missing. I don't know if she was effectively living as homeless. I've seen some comments that seem to suggest that at least for periods of time, she might have been homeless previously, might have even disappeared previously, which in a case like this, might not be the worst thing, because maybe that means that she has just gone on some type of individual or spiritual journey, and there's a good chance that she's going to pop back up. Thankfully, there is already a NamUs profile started on this account, so we're going to get into the details there. Date of last contact was May 17th, 2018. She's missing from Selma, Oregon. We're going to learn more about Selma here soon. At the time she went missing, she was 39 years old. She is now 40 years old. I believe I've seen that she's also missed one of her children's birthdays since then. So obviously, that's always a cause for concern when we see family members that are missing important events and dates like that. Her middle name is Renee. She stands at 5'6" tall. They have her weight between 100 to 130 pounds. Most postings that I've seen about her say that she's closer to 100. She is a white Caucasian. And for circumstances of disappearance, we honestly don't have a whole lot, and we're going to have to dig in. Thankfully, there's one article that will give us a little more detail. But we essentially just know that she was last seen walking in the 7800 block of Deer Creek Road on May 17th. Now, let's just jump to the map real quick so I can show you. This is essentially out in the middle of nowhere. There are no services around this. Sporadically, you'll see some buildings where there is a ranch or a home, but there's really nothing out here, guys. You've got this area known as Dryden, and even if you zoom in on here, a couple of vineyards, but just not a whole lot for infrastructure, not a lot for services. And if someone goes missing in this area, immediately I think there should be good cause for concern, because you could literally go miles without bumping into anything helpful in terms of if you have some type of injury, you need some type of medical help, but even simple things like just being able to use a restroom or to get water somewhere, not a whole lot that is going on out in this area. And things like this scare me too. We've even got a creek over here called Dryer Creek. Now, does that mean that there's actually water running in there? As of when this photo was taken, doesn't look like there's much. I don't know if that's just a dirt pathway or if that's mud, but obviously someone going missing in this area is a very scary proposition. Physical description, they describe her hair color as sandy. Of course, remember that it is multicolored when she does color it. Light brown dreadlocks with rainbow colored highlights is the official description. For her eye color, they say hazel. Now, I've been seeing all kinds of different things reported. As a matter of fact, on the last poster that we looked at, it says she has hazel, brown, or green eyes. And if you look at these photos, they really, especially this one, really does look like she has brown eyes. But I know some people with hazel eyes, sometimes it's just a matter of how the sun hits them, and sometimes their eyes can seem to change color dramatically. So they're noting that here, that the reports are saying that it could be brown, could be green, but they are noting it as hazel. In terms of other distinctive characteristics, we just have that one tattoo, the marijuana leaf on her right bicep. You can see it pretty well here in the image that we started with. Let me just zoom in on it a bit. Pretty much a traditional marijuana leaf shape that you can see on her arm there. On top of that, not a whole lot of distinctive characteristics. As a matter of fact, when we get to clothing, they note a green jacket vest and purple moccasins, but we're not even getting a description of what type of shorts or pants she was wearing. The jacket vest, I'm wondering if it is the same one she's wearing in this picture. We're going to see some other versions of this picture where we can see the jacket vest a bit better. Unfortunately, it's not in this one, but we will get to some of those. No additional case information. So in terms of a NamUs profile, not a whole lot to go on here. We do have some of the photos. Most of them are in the same montage that I showed you from the Facebook page. And thankfully, they do have the contact information, including the case information. So I will have that in the description box below for anyone that might have information. And I urge you to please use that. Please use that contact info and send that information in. Over at the website for Josephine County, we see a press release that was issued from the Josephine County Sheriff's Office. Once again, they're just giving the basics. Ericka Renee Hogg, 39 years of age, white female, 5'6", 100 pounds, light brown hair, multicolored highlights. They're saying her eye color is brown here. They're also noting the marijuana leaf tattoo. Here, the picture's a little bit better. You can see more of the green vest. It's green vest, but it looks like it has a light fleece-colored interior and edge lining. So might look a little different if it's inside out. No additional information. We once again just get the green jacket vest and purple moccasins description. Don't know if it's shorts, don't know if it's jeans, have no idea what she was wearing. So where is this taking place? Selma, Oregon is an unincorporated community in Josephine County, Oregon. As of the 2010 census, it had a population of 695. So we've got a very, very small town we're talking about, population of only 695. And if we zoom out on this map of where she actually went missing, you can see that Selma is actually a few miles west of where she actually went missing. So we're already talking about a relatively low population density area, not a whole lot of services that are out here. But even for that, she actually winds up going missing. It looks like, eyeballing it, maybe 5 or 6 miles away from what you would consider, the center of Selma. Selma is just southwest of the center of Josephine County in the valley of Deer Creek, a west-flowing tributary of the Illinois River. So what can we learn about Ericka? I did find a few different social media touches. She does have a Twitter account. We're going to end the video with one post from the Twitter account. I did find a Facebook profile, but I also found this, a profile of her at Sitter City, essentially a website for advertising babysitting services. So let's see what we can learn about Ericka from this profile. For the last 5 years, I've been a stay-at-home mother as well as a community organizer, meditation teacher, and non-denominational minister. I regard the experience and insight gained regarding work ethic, accountability, organization, and human nature to be more intensely beneficial than any other part of my life. My background is strong in personal care providing. I believe that she had a nursing certification of some type. She worked at a few places with that. One of them was a home for developmentally disabled adults. So just already from what I'm seeing here and how she's presenting herself, I'm getting a very strong focus in terms of her view of humanity, wanting to help others. That's not too far of a stretch from the kind of bohemian lifestyle that we see in some regards. Depends on kind of the direction that people take with that. Some people might say a little bit of a hippie vibe that we have going on with Ericka here as well. I'm a natural entertainer and generator of creative ideas. For her hobbies, they include long distance running. Could be a good thing in the situation that we're looking at with her going missing in the middle of nowhere. Because if she is a long distance runner, it's possible that if she did want to disappear of her own accord, she probably had the resources to put on a considerable amount of distance. On top of that, hiking, mountain biking, climbing, skiing, unicycling, and parenting. So a lot of experience that I would think might help in a situation if she was out in the middle of nowhere in terms of getting her to other places where she might be able to find services. On top of that, she says she is also naturally nurturing, focused, and intuitive. I offer any environment the fluidity of personal peace of mind. I did also bump into a YouTube channel for her. A few of these videos are poetry, which I definitely appreciate. When I started doing YouTube, I had some poetry that I posted as well. And one of them in particular says that she's a divine conduit. And I did watch that video, and essentially it's a video more about spirituality. It's a video about her being, I guess what you would say is immensely present, just really in the now, so to speak, not letting the past or the future pull her focus. So she's someone that obviously was in touch with her spirituality in some way. And we know that she's also dealing with a very serious mental disorder of her own. So seeking that type of spirituality and that type of connection certainly makes a lot of sense to me when I see that video. So a few things that I learned from YouTube, but nothing that I think would really directly relate to her disappearance outside of the possibility that she could be on some personal spiritual journey. I definitely see the possibility of that going on with this case. Over at kdrv.com, this is a posting from May 24th, so just a few days after she went missing, and essentially there's just nothing for details on this. Last seen back in May 17th, walking on the 7800 block of Deer Creek Road, green jacket, vest, and purple moccasins. Traditionally, when I'm doing an episode like this, I like to jump from news source to news source and start compiling all the different points, because a lot of them don't report on the same thing. When it comes to this case, there's already a small number of news sources. Most of them are in what I consider kind of the first step area, where, the press release comes out and then 3 or 4 different news services will report the same few facts that are in that press release. And that's really what I'm seeing with this case as well. We don't have a timeline. We're not even getting really good conditions of the disappearance, like who was with her? What happened in the day leading up to that? Was there some type of emotional charge? Was there some type of change going on in her life that maybe would support the thought that she would want to get away? Had she lost a job recently? Had she gone through a breakup recently? We're just really seeing nothing for that level of information out here, which makes a case like this that's already naturally tough quite a bit harder just when you're trying to help from the outside, because we can't really focus our considerations on areas that might make sense with her particular story when we don't have her story to really share. That's why I thought the babysitter information was kind of important to get to you guys. But thankfully, KOBI 5 does some coverage, and we do get some details here. And this coverage happens, unfortunately, a few months later, October 22nd, 2018. But we do get some additional detail and maybe just a little hint of some of the thoughts of what friends and family could be concerned of in this case. Friends and family of Ericka Hogg are hoping for answers. I'm afraid that we're not going to find her, said Ericka Hogg's friend, Miranda Brady. She's one of many who know and love Hogg, a 40-year-old who's been missing since May. We just really want to know what happened to her, said Brady. And if something happened to her, we want this person off the street. So there, I think it's pretty clear that at least her friend Miranda is considering the possibility that this is a foul play situation. Does she have a good reason for that? I can't tell you. I have no idea. She is just speaking to that possibility. Let's continue here. Hogg's sister, Rachel Carter, who we started this video with, says she suffers from schizophrenia and is an adventurous spirit who's gone missing before. So in a missing persons case, that's not the worst thing to hear. This is someone that has kind of packed up and gone missing before. This is someone we mentioned that could take on the physical elements, is an adventurous spirit, maybe a little bit of just a free floater. She could kind of move from situation to situation. It just, in terms of trying to find the hope in this story, comments like that make me hopeful. But then we get other comments like this one, but this time it was different. I knew that I probably wouldn't see her again, said Carter. Carter says when she got a call from Hogg's boyfriend concerned about where she was, they all contacted police. Carter drove to Oregon. We did a ground search. We went on hikes. We walked the river, Carter said. The family posted on social media, put up countless flyers, even hiring a private dog handler to search the grounds. Hogg was nowhere to be found. The case has been investigated by multiple agencies from the Josephine County Sheriff's Office, FBI, and now Oregon State Police. That is a very interesting statement. And I wonder why the FBI is involved here. Not like them to typically get involved with a disappearance of this type unless local authorities are reaching out to them and saying there's something weird about this one, or we found some information. Can you guys help us kind of flesh this out? Sometimes local authorities will reach out to them and say, you know, we need additional resources because, you know, we can't handle something of this nature. So I'm wondering what the trigger was for pulling the FBI into this case. We don't have a situation where this is someone that was from a different state. We don't have any potential theories here that there was a crime that was being committed and she was moved from one state to another. How this got to the FBI's level, I really don't know. Oregon State Police, sure. Working in tandem with Josephine County Sheriff's Office, we see those type of situations somewhat regularly. Occasionally, the local sheriffs will say, no, we don't need the help from the state police and kind of keep them out of it. But occasionally, we do see them collaborating. But the FBI being thrown in the mix, a little bit of a different level. And I'm just not, the information at least doesn't seem that it's public. That was the trigger for that. Sergeant Jeff Prolix says, we reviewed the report and any interviews, and right now, nothing stands out that it was foul play, he said. But family and friends aren't so sure. Some are expressing concerns about a volatile past relationship. Others don't want to point fingers, but are losing hope that she'll come home. Whether she's alive or dead, we just want some closure, said her sister Carter. So this is all we really have in terms of there being some kind of interpersonal drama that might be pointing to what's going on with this disappearance. These friends and family members could have just as easily, during this interview, said, you know, she's been out of work for 3 or 4 years. Things have been getting tougher and tougher on her. Maybe she had a couple of emotional breakdowns or one emotional breakdown that was significant, something along those lines. We're having them open up, at least in terms of her schizophrenia, which already is a bit of a very personal issue. And now we're having them open up about the possibility that some type of bad past relationship could be related to this as well. Now, the last person to actually see her is someone that is labeled as her boyfriend. But from her Facebook page, there are some comments there that I don't think are aimed at him. So here's her Facebook page, and there's this really kind of strange note here. I think this is supposed to be where your former employers are. And, you know, some people have fun with that category and kind of change things up. So she's saying she worked at a place called Love What Matters. But the message, her job there was, don't fall in love with me because I am a natural flirter and I already love someone, though today he isn't with me. Love me or hate me, I don't care, but don't dare to show me your attitude because I have my own at Love What Matters. So just an interesting post, and I don't know if that is referring to who her boyfriend was at the time she went missing. Here's a picture of him. Larry Anthony Hopkins, also goes by the name Hannibal. And I do find it interesting. I don't know if this is another clue about what people are thinking. I don't even know who made this poster, but it's interesting to me that her name is obviously in red and bold, but and the contact info is bold, but the only other name here that's in bold is also Larry Anthony Hopkins. So what I'm wondering about all this is he the guy that she was last with? Or is he at least the source of the information about where she was last seen? And is this the person that is a bit of a tough relationship that her friends are referring to? I don't know. Doesn't seem like it, but I don't know for a fact. I'm just, this is really an aspect of this where I don't know. I don't want to drive too hard on any particular point because we're really far off into just theorizing territory here. But we know that her friends are saying potentially something to do with a previous bad relationship. We have not a whole lot of detail, not a whole lot of information. I don't see any interviews with Larry speaking to the media. I'm pretty sure that they'd be willing to hear his story and to do an update on that as well. I'm not seeing personal information, like in terms of Facebook pages, you know, Larry posting to her page about how much he misses her or anything like that. I didn't bump into anything like that. Admittedly, not everyone is the same type, especially when it comes to Facebook communication. And I don't think we could expect that is always going to happen. I'm just not seeing any information that is really saying that Larry has been particularly helpful with this disappearance. And considering the very limited information that we're getting from the news sources here, I'm just wondering about that because I do think that his information would be very helpful in terms of sharing it with this case. What was going on when you last saw her? What direction did she go walking off in? What did she take with her? What type of pants was she wearing? I mean, I think there's a pretty easy to understand line of questioning that getting that information out in the public could be actually helpful to this case. So let me just put the offer out. Larry, if you happen to see this, if you're willing to do a phone call or a Skype interview, I would certainly like to have you on the channel to share that information with us. The more and the better detail we can get out there, the better chance we have at finding out the answers to all of this. So on top of that, I just want to let any friends or family members of Ericka know that there is a link in the description box below to a page I've put together specifically of missing person tips, all the best things that I've learned over the years of looking into these cases. I've compiled it all in one place. There's several videos, there's written text, all kinds of different ideas. You might find something in there that's helpful, so I just wanted to call your attention to that as well. Now, on top of all this, there is a very interesting post that's over at Web Sleuths, but I just want to put a clear delineation in here. We're now, in case you didn't catch it before, we're in theorizing territory. And this link in particular grabbed my attention because it gives us some of that additional detail that I'm looking for. However, the link that it's pointing to is once again from the Pacific Northwest Cold Cases and Missing Persons Facebook page, but the post is gone. So I don't know if this post was inaccurate and someone got worried about it and they pulled it down. I don't know if this post might have had some information in it that law enforcement actually asked them to take down, which we have seen in cases before. But according to this Web Sleuths poster known as Bears 10, according to this link, she got upset and walked away from her campground. Her family is very concerned for her well-being and safety. She has been homeless in the past. Can't verify it because, like I said, the post is missing. And even if the post was there, I don't know that it would explain where this information is necessarily coming from. Let me just open up to her friends and family also. If there's information you guys want to share with me, please send me an email at john@lordenarts.com, and I will use that information for an update on this case, and we'll get better and better detail out there. This is one of those cases that just needs a little push in terms of the information. I'm not finding it in the publicly available sources. I might be able to help you guys in terms of getting you in contact with other social media people that might be able to publicize this as well. So please feel free to reach out to me. So where is Ericka Hogg? That is the question right now. And in terms of theories, I think I'm stuck between possibility that something could have happened to her, possibility that she could be on some type of personal or spiritual journey. But if you have other thoughts outside of the realm of those things, I'd love to know about them. Please share those with the rest of us in the comments below, and let's get some good, healthy conversation going and attention raised to this case. So what is the most recent update? Once again, a big thank you to Gwen. Over at the official page for missing person Ericka Renee Hogg, on April 20th, 2019, some of Ericka's items were found. Those items were believed to be on her when she went missing. Today, a search and rescue group should be out doing a more detailed search of the area. Please send out your prayers or positive energy that she will be found during their search. Now, as of when I'm recording this, that happened approximately 10 days ago. Haven't seen an update on this. I don't know who's running that particular Facebook page, so I don't know if the family endorses that page or not, but they are the only one I can see that's kind of focused on this particular case. So I think I said that it was official before. I don't know if it's official or not. What I do know is they are the ones that are posting the information that those items have been found as of April 20th. Some people are questioning, oh, is that just some kind of joke because, you know, pot smoking on 420? I don't think so. At least that's not the vibe I get from it, but I would have loved if there was a source in there, you know, maybe them just saying, hey, we heard this from family. Unfortunately, in that comment and in the replies to that comment, no one is making that clarification. So I think it's important to share. I don't know or necessarily if I would lean on it as a hard fact at this time. But there is a GoFundMe for this page as well. We can see they're trying to raise $75,000 goal. I'm not sure why the amount is set at that exactly, but they have only raised $490. It was created October 28th, 2018. It's very clear that all the proceeds are going to be used directly for this case, or if this case is solved and there are additional proceeds left, those will be used to help fund other missing person searches. It's been shared a whole lot, and I'm kind of surprised that it's not raising more than it actually is. But on behalf of myself and my amazing supporters through both PayPal, Patreon, we're going to make a donation to this just as soon as I'm done filming this today. And I did want to end this video just with a quote from Ericka herself. This is from her Facebook or her Twitter account, which was called Light Bursting. I could see no other. I invented aloneness when I began the idea of two. I found this life to see my one self in your eyes. And that was posted on July 4th, 2010. I personally think that Ericka is extremely talented with writing. I was pretty moved by the poetry that I heard in the YouTube presentation and here on her Twitter account. So just wanted to share a little piece of that with all of you and say that my heart goes out to the friends and family of Ericka and Ericka herself. I truly, truly hope that she's out there. I hope that she completes the individual journey that she might be on and comes back to all these people that love, care, and miss her, or that these people that love, care, and miss her find the answers that they're looking for and are able to have some resolve. I've heard from people that you never get closure, but I know having some answers to some of these questions can certainly give them a bit of resolve. Before I end today's video, I have to thank some more of you guys out there that are really helping me. YouTube is demonetizing like crazy. I don't know if you saw it on the last episode of Brainscratch, but yes, instantly demonetized once again, which kind of breaks my heart. I just got to share with you guys. I don't know why YouTube's doing this. They're demonetizing more and more of my Searchlight videos, which really doesn't make sense to me. We're trying to help missing persons cases. We are helping missing persons cases. And yes, last episode of Brainscratch was about a particularly tough topic, but I thought we were super respectful to the topic. There was nothing graphic in the video, so I'm kind of just blown away by what they're doing. I don't know, but I'm also more blown away by all of you stepping up and helping to keep the channel running. That's ultimately what I'm focused on here. Trying to stay here and to help as many more people as we can. So a huge thank you to new patrons: Cat Boyle, Riley Collins Smith, Lilith, Keffin Morancis, hope I'm saying that right, Keffin, and thank you for reaching out to me personally. Keffin is actually working on the documentary that we helped fund about Colin Madsen, and they have asked me to help in some way, which of course I'm going to. Big thank you to Rebecca Berry, Sean Biddle, Tanya Marshall, hey Tanya, Ann Payne, and that is it for new patrons. We also had a few that increased their pledges. A big thank you to Thea and Desiree. I really, really appreciate having your help. And more now than ever, I cannot do it without you guys. So thank you so much for stepping up and being part of my team. I need you guys there, and I appreciate each and every one of you that is there. Take care, everyone. I'll see you back here on Friday. I got a real special Brainscratch I'm putting together for you. I think we're going to have a couple of special guests. I don't want to announce it just in case it gets moved, but be sure to check Friday's video. Also, this week's episode of 3 Men and a Mystery has an interview with an expert. Even if you're not following the case of JB and Tracy, you really want to check out this particular episode. It's called False Admissions. And frequently you hear about like defense attorneys that work in false confession situations, and they sometimes do talks or go on tours. I've been to one of those in particular over the past year. This interview is really interesting because we're talking to an expert who helps police departments avoid false admissions and false confessions. So we've got an expert that's basically working on the other side of that problem. It's a really good episode. I hope you guys will check it out. Of course, it's here on the channel. There's a special playlist for 3 Men and a Mystery, and you're looking for episode 4, False Admissions. Take care, everyone. I'll see you back here on Friday with a brand new and hopefully very special Brainscratch.